Welcome to your personal deep dive. Today we're going to help you get ready for that dental assistant interview you've got coming up.
Sounds good.
All right, we found this resource online that's got like 40 common interview questions, and thankfully, expert speaker is here to break them all down.
Definitely.
So are you ready to dive in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so first up is the classic. Tell me about your experience as a dental assistant.
Yeah.
It seems pretty basic, but how do you make it stand out?
Well, you got to go beyond the bullet points on your resume.
Okay.
You really want to paint a picture of yourself as someone who, would thrive in a dental practice.
Hmm.
So even if you don't have a ton of, direct dental experience,
Right.
you can still highlight any experiences that show your passion for the field.
Okay, so if someone's newer to the field, how can they do that?
Well, think about transferable skills.
Mm.
Let's say you worked in customer service before.
Yeah.
Well, you've already built up those skills, like building rapport, active listening, clear communication, all that. And guess what? Those are super valuable in a dental practice.
Oh, for sure.
So it's about showing the interviewer how your past experience, translates to great patient care.
And I think our source mentioned an example where a candidate talked about how they were quick to learn like the dentist's preferences, which made the whole team more efficient.
Exactly. And that kind of initiative, it really shows that you're genuinely interested in making the whole practice run smoothly.
Yeah.
And ultimately that, benefits the patients.
Okay, let's move on to dealing with an upset patient.
Okay.
We all know that dental work can be stressful.
Yeah.
So how do you answer that tricky question about handling those situations?
So picture this. A patient is upset about needing several fillings.
Uh-oh.
They're frustrated,
Mhm.
maybe a little scared. Your natural reaction might be to get defensive,
Right.
but, that's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, our source stress staying calm is so important.
Oh, absolutely. It's about shifting your mindset.
Okay.
Instead of defending the treatment, it's about understanding the person.
Hmm.
I think the source even mentioned an anecdote where the dental assistant calmly walked the patient through their x-rays,
Oh.
and they explained everything super clearly.
Yeah.
That kind of transparency, it can really de-escalate things and, build trust.
So it's almost like you're partnering with the patient,
Right.
help them understand what's going on.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And by staying calm and empathetic, you're reassuring the patient that you have their best interests at heart.
Okay, let's move on to something more fun.
Okay.
What you love about dental assisting.
All right.
This is your chance to let your enthusiasm shine.
This is where you can share your passion for the field.
Yeah.
What truly excites you about this role is that the patient interaction, the hands-on work, the fast-paced environment.
Right.
Don't hold back.
Yeah.
Let that excitement come through.
So what about the less exciting parts?
Okay.
Our source mentioned the question, what are your favorite and least favorite parts of being a dental assistant?
Yeah.
How do you answer that honestly without sounding negative?
Well, honesty is key,
Yeah.
but it's all in how you frame it. Instead of focusing on what you dislike, focus on your willingness to learn and grow.
Mm.
Our source had a good example answer where the candidate just said they enjoyed all aspects of the job and were always eager to learn new things.
So even if you're not thrilled about taking impressions, you could say something like, I'm always looking to improve my technique.
Exactly. You're showing that you're committed to continuous improvement.
Yeah.
And, you see every task as a chance to develop your skills.
Okay, now let's talk IPA.
Okay.
A big part of healthcare, obviously, and interviewers take it very seriously. So how do you showcase your understanding of patient confidentiality?
Think of HIPAA like a code of honor.
Hmm.
You're entrusted with protecting patient information, and it goes beyond just knowing the rules.
Right.
It's about showing that you live and breathe those principles.
Okay.
So think about simple actions that demonstrate your commitment. Like closing exam room doors, keeping patient charts secure, and always being mindful of who can overhear conversations.
The source also mentioned being careful about what you discuss even with colleagues during breaks.
Yeah, you want to show that you understand how serious patient privacy is,
Okay.
that you're always maintaining confidentiality in every aspect of your work.
All right, switching gears to technology.
Okay.
These days, dental practices rely heavily on software.
Yeah.
So how do you showcase your tech savviness even if you haven't used a specific dental practice management software before?
Well, specific software might vary,
Mm-hmm.
but the key is highlighting your, adaptability and comfort with technology in general. So think about programs like Microsoft Office
Right.
or any electronic health record software you might have used,
Uh-huh.
and mention your comfort level with those and your ability to learn new systems quickly.
Our source also emphasized billing and coding experience and familiarity with insurance claims.
Yeah, those are pretty essential skills.
They are, even if you haven't tackled those tasks specifically,
Yeah,
showcasing your willingness to learn and a positive attitude toward new technologies can make a big difference.
it can. A positive attitude and a desire to learn are super valuable in a fast-paced environment,
Yeah,
like a dental practice.
for sure.
It shows you're a team player
Yeah.
and, willing to jump in wherever needed.
Hmm. Okay, this next one might feel a bit personal.
Okay?
Your own oral hygiene practices.
Hmm.
Is it really that important to talk about your brushing and flossing habits?
Well, think about it. You're going to be educating patients on oral hygiene.
Right?
Imagine you're telling a patient to floss daily,
Yeah.
but they know you don't.
Oh.
It's about walking the walk, showing that you genuinely care about oral health and live by those principles.
So our source even suggested connecting your personal habits to patient advice.
Oh, yeah.
Like saying, because I floss every day, I can confidently explain its importance to patients.
Yeah, that's a great way to, show that you're authentic and build trust with patients. They're more likely to take your advice seriously if they see that you practice what you preach.
It's like you're a walking testament to good oral hygiene. It's good.
Exactly. It shows you're passionate about the field and invested in your patient's well-being, which goes a long way in an interview.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's get back to those interview questions.
Yeah.
This next one can feel a bit daunting. How do you respond to criticism, either from a colleague or a patient?
Hmm.
It's inevitable that you'll face some, constructive feedback.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Nobody's perfect. And even the most experienced dental assistant can always, benefit from feedback.
Right.
The key is to approach it with a growth mindset.
Okay.
Think of it as a chance to learn and improve.
So how do you distinguish between, like, constructive criticism
Okay.
and maybe just someone having a bad day?
It's about recognizing the intent behind the feedback.
Mm.
So if a colleague suggests a better way to sterilize instruments,
Right.
they're probably just trying to help you.
Okay.
But if a patient's, lashing out because they're anxious,
Yeah.
it's more about understanding their, emotional state,
Mhm.
trying to diffuse the situation.
Our source had a good example of how to handle patient complaints.
All right.
Instead of getting defensive, the candidate acknowledged the patient's frustration and calmly explained things.
Exactly. By staying calm and empathetic, you can turn a negative experience into a chance to build rapport
Yeah.
and show your professionalism.
Okay. Time for a deep breath.
All right.
Let's tackle x-rays.
Okay.
Our source highlighted the question, tell me about your experience exposing and processing x-rays.
Hmm.
What if you're still building your skills in that area?
Honesty is key here.
Yeah.
If you're new to taking x-rays, just acknowledge that,
Right.
but also emphasize that you're eager to learn.
Okay.
Dental practices want assistants who are, committed to expanding their skill set.
Our source suggested saying something like, while I haven't had extensive experience with x-rays, I'm eager to get certified in radiation health and safety and become proficient.
That's a perfect response.
Hmm.
It shows you understand the importance of proper training and that you're proactive about, seeking out opportunities to grow.
Okay, let's talk impressions.
Okay.
Specifically the question, take me through the steps you follow to make an alginate impression.
Right.
Seems like a lot of details.
Yeah. Making an accurate impression is a precise process, but instead of just memorizing the steps,
Right.
focus on showing that you understand the why behind each action.
So, for example, instead of just saying select the right tray size,
Yeah.
you could explain why that's important for getting a clear and comfortable impression.
Exactly. You want to show that you're not just following a recipe, but that you understand the principles behind each step.
Okay.
So, mention things like making sure the alginate is mixed properly to avoid bubbles
Right.
and keeping the patient comfortable throughout the process.
Yeah, those details really show that you're confident and competent.
Exactly. And remember, even if you haven't mastered every technique yet,
Right.
your willingness to learn and your attention to detail will go a long way.
Okay, now for the grand finale. Why should we hire you?
Okay.
This is your moment to seal the deal.
Think of it as your closing argument. You've shared your skills,
Yeah.
your experience, your passion.
Right.
Now it's time to bring it all together and show why you're the perfect fit for this specific practice.
So our source stressed tailoring your answer to the practice's needs.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Research is key.
Oh.
Look at their website, read reviews,
Mm-hmm.
get a feel for their values, what they prioritize.
Okay.
Do they emphasize patient comfort, cutting-edge technology,
Uh-huh.
a strong team environment,
Okay.
and then connect your strengths and experiences to those things.
So instead of a generic, I'm a hard worker,
Hmm.
you could say, I'm passionate about creating a welcoming experience for patients, and my skills and insert relevant skill would help me do that.
Exactly. Show them that you've done your homework
Right.
and that you're genuinely excited about joining their team.
All right, we've covered a lot of those employer
They
questions,
have.
but don't forget interviews are a two-way street. You have the power to ask questions too.
Absolutely. Asking thoughtful questions not only helps you gather information, but also shows that you're engaged and interested.
Our source had some great suggestions for questions you can ask.
Okay.
Are you ready to dive into those?
Yeah, let's do it. Time to put you in the driver's seat.
Okay, first up, tell me about your long-term career goals.
Hmm.
This one always throws me off.
Yeah.
Should I have my whole 5-year plan mapped out?
Not necessarily. It's more about showing that you're ambitious and see this role as a stepping stone.
Okay.
Do you see yourself specializing in a certain area, pursuing more education, maybe taking on more leadership responsibilities down the line?
So it's about showing them you're not just looking for a job, but that you want to grow within the field.
Exactly. And even if your plans aren't set in stone,
Right.
expressing your enthusiasm for learning and advancement shows them you're invested in your future and in the dental profession as a whole.
Now for that classic, tell me about yourself. Seems simple, but how do you make your answers stand out?
Think of it as your elevator pitch,
Hmm.
a short and compelling summary of who you are and what you bring to the table.
Okay.
Avoid rambling about hobbies or personal stuff.
Right.
Focus on your key skills, experiences, and personality traits that make you a good fit for a dental assisting role.
So like a highlight reel of your best professional qualities.
Exactly. Highlight your strengths, your passion for the field, and any unique experiences that set you apart.
Okay.
So for example, maybe you volunteered at a dental clinic,
Hmm.
or you have a knack for calming down anxious patients.
Yeah.
Those are things that make you memorable.
Okay, next up. What are your strengths?
All right.
Seems straightforward, but how do you avoid sounding generic?
Instead of just listing adjectives like organized or
Yeah.
efficient,
Right.
back up your claims with concrete examples.
Okay.
Describe situations where those strengths made a real difference. Maybe you streamlined a process at a previous job, or a patient gave you positive feedback for your calming demeanor.
So it's about showcasing your strengths in action.
Exactly.
You're not saying you're a good communicator,
Right.
you're showing them.
Now, for the flip side, what is your biggest weakness?
Okay.
Feels like a trap.
It can.
How do you answer honestly without sabotaging yourself?
Honesty is important, but remember, every weakness can be an area for growth. Choose a weakness that isn't crucial to the role,
Okay.
and then highlight the steps you're taking to improve.
So you could say, I sometimes get so focused on details that I lose track of the bigger picture. But to address this, I've started using time blocking techniques.
That's a great example. You're acknowledging the weakness, but also showing your self-awareness and that you're proactive about self-improvement.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's dig into your motivations.
Okay.
With why did you choose to become a dental assistant?
Hmm.
What are they really looking for with this one?
Authenticity and genuine passion for the field.
What sparked your interest in this career path?
Right.
Was it a personal experience, a mentor, a fascination with the science behind dentistry?
Oh,
Share your story, connect it to the role, and let your enthusiasm show.
So it's about more than just saying, I like working with people.
Right.
It's about what specifically drew you to this profession.
Exactly. Maybe you saw the positive impact a dental professional had on someone you know,
Yeah.
or maybe you're just fascinated by the details of dental procedures.
Mm.
Whatever it is, let that passion fuel your answer.
Okay, let's talk professional development. What opportunities have you taken in the last 12 months to develop and grow your skills? This one seems all about showing you're staying current in the field.
Absolutely. Continuing education is essential.
Yeah.
Highlight any courses, workshops, certifications, or even online resources you've used to learn new things.
Okay.
Maybe you shadowed a dental hygienist or took a course on infection control.
So even if it's not formal education, anything that shows you're actively learning is relevant.
Exactly. It shows your dedication to staying ahead of the curve and providing the best possible care for patients.
Now let's get specific with why do you want to work at this office?
Okay.
This is where research is key.
It is, think of it like a first date.
Hmm.
You want to show them you're interested in them, not just any dental practice.
Okay.
So research their website, Read patient reviews.
Right.
Get a sense of their values and what makes them unique.
So if they emphasize patient comfort, you could say, I was impressed by the testimonials on your website about how much you care about creating a relaxing experience.
That's a great approach.
Mm.
It shows you've taken the time to learn about them
Yeah.
and that you're interested in what they stand for.
Okay, now for a question that might make some people sweat.
All right.
How often do you sterilize equipment?
Mm.
This seems pretty important.
Your answer should show a strong understanding of sterilization protocols.
Okay.
Be familiar with different methods like autoclaving and chemical disinfection.
Right.
And know how often different instruments need to be sterilized.
It's about showing them you take infection control seriously
Right.
and that you understand how important it is to keep things safe and hygienic.
Exactly. Your knowledge and attention to detail here can really set you apart.
Okay, let's talk about patient preparation.
You're right.
The source mentioned, how do you prepare for patients arriving?
Okay.
Seems like it's more than just setting out instruments.
It is. It's about creating a smooth and welcoming experience from the moment they walk in. So review their chart beforehand
Right.
to familiarize yourself with their history and any specific needs they might have.
So it's about anticipating their needs.
Yeah.
Making sure the treatment room is ready and making a good first impression.
Exactly. It's about setting the stage for a successful and comfortable appointment.
Now imagine this. A patient doesn't understand the treatment being proposed. How would you handle this? Communication is key in healthcare,
It is.
especially when things get complicated.
Right. This is where you can really shine by translating complex information into simple terms.
Okay.
Avoid jargon or technical language that might confuse them more.
Right.
Use clear and concise language.
Mm.
Visual aids, if appropriate.
Okay.
And most importantly, check for understanding along the way.
So it's about meeting the patient where they are and making sure they feel heard.
Exactly. It's about building trust and empowering patients to make informed decisions about their care.
Okay. Shifting gears to demographics.
Right.
The source highlighted, do you prefer to work with children or adults? Is there a right answer?
Not really. It's about being honest about your preferences and finding a practice that aligns with your strengths.
Okay.
Some dental assistants love working with kids,
Yeah.
while others prefer the more predictable nature of adult patients.
So it's about self-awareness and making sure you're setting yourself up for success.
Exactly. There's no right or wrong answer, as long as you can explain your reasoning
Okay.
and show that you understand the needs of different age groups.
Now for a safety question. Do you have your CPR qualification? Pretty straightforward.
It is. CPR certification is a must-have for anyone in healthcare,
Yeah.
including dental assistants.
Right.
It shows that you're prepared for emergencies and that you prioritize patient safety.
So if you're not certified yet, make it a priority.
Definitely, it's a valuable skill that could save a life.
All right, let's talk stress management.
Okay.
Dental assisting can be a demanding job.
Yeah.
So how do you handle stress?
Well, this is where you show your self-awareness
Okay.
and your ability to maintain a healthy work-life balance. Share some of your go-to stress relievers,
Right.
whether it's exercise, meditation, spending time outdoors, connecting with loved ones.
So it's about showing you have healthy coping mechanisms and you prioritize your well-being.
Exactly. And it's okay to acknowledge that the job can be stressful.
Yes.
It shows you're realistic and you have strategies for dealing with those challenges.
Okay, time to show off your initiative. How do you answer? Can you tell me about a time when you have shown initiative?
This is your chance to prove you're a proactive problem solver, not just someone who waits for instructions.
Okay.
Think of a time where you went above and beyond.
Right.
Maybe you saw a need and took care of it or took charge of a project. Maybe you found a way to streamline a process, volunteered for a tough task,
Okay.
or helped a colleague who was struggling.
So it's about showing them you're a go-getter who takes ownership.
Exactly. Highlight those moments where you showed leadership, resourcefulness, and a willingness to go the extra mile.
All right, let's go back to that practice-specific research.
Okay.
Why do you want to work at this office? We touched on this earlier,
Yeah.
but how else can you make your answer stand out?
Well, beyond their website and online presence,
Okay.
think about what really speaks to you about their practice. Maybe they're big on community outreach,
Right.
or they use the latest technology, or maybe they specialize in a particular area of dentistry that interests you.
So, for example, if they have a reputation for using cutting-edge technology, you could say, I'm really passionate about staying up to date on the latest in dentistry, and I was excited to learn about your commitment to new technology.
Exactly. That shows you're not just looking for any job, but that you're drawn to what their practice offers.
Okay, this next one could be tricky.
All right.
Imagine a patient panics as you lead them to the treatment room. What do? Dental anxiety is real.
It is.
So how do you handle those sensitive situations?
First, stay calm yourself.
Okay.
Your calmness will help the patient feel more secure.
Hmm.
Then acknowledge their fear, use reassuring language,
Right.
and try to understand what's causing their anxiety.
Okay.
Are they afraid of pain, the unknown?
Yeah.
Our source emphasized active listening and empathy here.
Right.
Let the patient know you're there to support them.
Okay.
Maybe offer distractions like music or aromatherapy. And if their anxiety is really severe, don't hesitate to get the dentist or another team member involved.
So it's about creating a safe and supportive environment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes just knowing someone is listening and understands their fear can make a big difference.
Okay, let's talk about tailoring your approach. In what ways do you treat adult patients differently from children?
Right.
Seems like recognizing that one size doesn't fit all in patient care.
It is. Children and adults have different levels of understanding,
Right.
different communication styles, and different anxieties.
Mm.
With kids, you might use playful language, involve parents more,
Okay.
and offer distractions like toys.
And with adults, it's about clear communication, respecting their autonomy,
Right.
and addressing their specific concerns.
Exactly. It's about adapting your approach to each patient
Okay.
to create a more positive experience.
Let's dive into lab work.
Okay.
Tell me about your experience with lab tests.
All right.
How do you showcase your technical skills here?
This is your chance to shine. If you have experience with things like preparing impressions, pouring models, fabricating temporary crowns, or handling other lab procedures,
Okay.
even if your experience is limited, highlight your willingness to learn and your attention to detail.
It's about showing that you understand the importance of accuracy and precision in lab work.
Exactly. And even if you haven't mastered every technique,
Yeah.
showing that you're eager to learn new skills and follow instructions carefully is important.
Now let's talk work style.
Okay.
How do you feel about being closely supervised?
Hmm.
This one seems about finding the right fit.
It is some dental assistance, like a structured environment with clear directions, while others prefer more autonomy. Be honest about your preferences and explain why. If you like collaboration and feedback, highlight that.
Right.
If you're more independent, emphasize your ability to take initiative.
So it's about finding a balance between following protocols and working independently.
Exactly. The key is to show that you're adaptable and can thrive in different environments.
Okay, time to talk teamwork.
Right.
What does being part of a team mean to you? Seems pretty straightforward.
It is, but don't underestimate how important it is.
Okay.
Dental assisting is all about collaboration.
All right.
So highlighting your teamwork skills is crucial.
Okay.
Talk about clear communication, mutual respect, and a shared commitment to great patient care.
Maybe even share an example from a past job where you worked well with a team.
That's a great idea. Concrete examples always make your answers stronger.
Okay, now let's focus on customer service. Describe what you consider to be exceptional customer service.
Okay.
This one's more than just being polite.
Right. Think about times when you felt really cared for as a customer, where your needs were anticipated, your concerns were addressed quickly,
Yeah.
and you felt valued.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in a dental setting, it's about creating a welcoming environment,
Right.
listening to patients and making them feel at ease.
Yeah. Exactly. Treat each patient as an individual. Respect their needs and build trust through genuine care and communication.
All right, let's highlight your achievements.
Okay.
What professional achievement are you most proud of? This is your chance to shine.
It is choose an achievement that shows your skills and dedication as a dental assistant.
Okay.
Maybe you got great feedback from a patient who appreciated your calming presence, or you streamlined a process or took the initiative to learn a new skill that helped the practice.
So it's about showing your value.
Exactly. It's not about bragging.
Right.
It's about sharing a story that highlights your passion and your contributions.
Okay, now let's talk about conflict resolution.
Right.
The source included. Have you ever disagreed with a dentist or supervisor? Tell me how you handled that and what the outcome was. Disagreements happen. They do. So how do you navigate those situations?
Approach disagreements professionally and respectfully.
Okay.
Listen to the other person's perspective and try to understand their point of view. Then calmly explain your own perspective, focusing on facts and solutions, not emotions.
So it's about finding common ground and working towards a solution that works for everyone.
Exactly. And even if you don't totally agree with the outcome,
Hmm.
it's important to show that you can handle disagreements maturely
Right.
and keep things positive.
Okay, let's step back and look at the bigger picture. How important do you think a dental assistant's role is?
Hmm.
This one seems about understanding your place on the team.
That is, dental assistants are so important to a practice.
Yeah.
Highlight how your role contributes to the team's success and the patient's well-being.
So you could talk about patient education, infection control, assisting the dentist,
Right.
and creating a positive experience for everyone.
Exactly. It's about recognizing your value and showing you understand how your contributions impact the whole practice.
Okay, now for a personal touch. What 3 words would your current employer use to describe you?
Hmm.
This is where you showcase your strengths from someone else's perspective.
It is choose words that reflect your work ethic, your personality, and what you bring to the table.
Okay.
Think about what your colleagues or supervisors would say are your best qualities. Are you reliable, efficient, compassionate, a team player?
It's about showing the qualities that make you a great colleague.
Exactly. And by using words your previous employer would actually use,
Yeah.
you're adding credibility.
Okay, now for a sensitive question. Have you ever had a chairside experience that made you feel uncomfortable? What did you do?
Hmm.
Seems like this is about handling tough situations professionally.
It is. Most patient interactions are positive,
Yeah.
but there might be times when you face challenging behavior.
Right.
The key is to stay calm, professional, and put safety first.
Okay.
So if a patient is being inappropriate or making you feel unsafe,
Yeah.
remove yourself from the situation and get help from a supervisor or another team member.
Okay.
And if it's not that serious, maybe a patient who's demanding or disrespectful,
Right.
you can calmly set boundaries and redirect the conversation.
So it's about advocating for yourself while staying professional and making sure everyone feels respected.
Right. It's about finding that balance between providing great care and taking care of yourself.
Okay, let's talk about learning and growth. Are there any areas where you feel you need further training?
Okay.
Seems like it's about showing you're always learning.
It is. Nobody knows everything, and dentistry is always changing.
Right.
It's about acknowledging that there's always room to grow and showing that you're eager to learn and stay up to date.
So if you're new to digital x-rays, you could mention wanting more training in that area.
Exactly. It shows you're proactive about improving your skills and committed to providing the best care.
Now, about job preferences, do you prefer to work with patients or to do the administrative and clerical parts of the job?
Hmm.
Some people love patient interaction, others prefer behind-the-scenes work.
Right. There's no right or wrong answer here.
Okay.
Be honest about what you enjoy and find a practice that matches your strengths.
So if you love working with patients and making them feel good, emphasize those skills. Yeah.
But if you're more detail-oriented and like managing records or scheduling appointments, highlight those strengths.
Exactly. It's about finding a role where you can really shine.
Okay, another work style question.
Hmm.
Do you prefer to work as part of a team or independently? This is about how you fit into the environment.
Some people love working collaboratively. Others prefer more independence.
Right.
Be honest about what you like and explain why. If you enjoy teamwork, highlight your collaborative skills.
Okay.
If you're more independent, emphasize your ability to manage tasks and take initiative.
So it's about finding a practice where your work style works well with the team.
Exactly. It's about finding the right fit for you and for them.
Now, for a potentially tough one, why have you decided to leave your current role? This can be tricky if your departure wasn't totally positive.
The key is to stay positive and focus on your goals for the future.
Okay.
Even if your last job wasn't a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Frame your leaving as a chance for growth and new challenges.
Maybe you're looking for a practice that better aligns with your values,
Oh,
or offers more professional development opportunities,
right.
or specializes in an area of dentistry you're passionate about.
So instead of saying, I couldn't stand my boss,
Right.
you could say, I'm looking for a practice where I can learn more about relevant skill and work with a team that's passionate about shared value.
Exactly. Redirect the conversation toward your positive aspirations and what you're looking for in your next role.
And if you were, be honest about it,
Yeah,
but focus on what you learned and your desire to move on.
exactly. Honesty is important, but it's also about showing you're resilient and committed to finding the right fit.
Okay, last question.
Right.
How do you organize your time to make sure you get everything done each day? This is about your organizational skills and ability to prioritize.
It is. Dental assistants are busy,
Right.
so good time management is essential.
Okay.
Talk about how you stay organized,
Hmm.
whether it's to-do lists, calendars, or other tools.
Maybe share an example of how you managed a busy day.
That's a great way to show you can handle the demands of the job and stay on top of things.
Wow, we covered a lot.
We did.
I'm feeling way more confident about those questions.
You're doing great. Remember, preparation is key.
Yeah.
The more you practice and think through different scenarios, the better you'll feel going into the interview.
All right, let's switch gears and talk about the questions you can ask. It's your turn to get info and see if the practice is right for you.
Absolutely. Asking questions shows you're engaged and curious and really interested in the opportunity.
Okay, so it's time to flip the script and talk about questions you can ask during the interview.
Okay.
It's your chance to gather info,
Yeah.
and see if the practice is a good fit for you.
Absolutely. Asking thoughtful questions is a great way to share you're not just looking for any job.
Right.
It shows you're genuinely interested in this specific opportunity.
So our source suggested starting with, what skills and qualities do you look for in a dental assistant? What do you think about that?
That's a fantastic question to start with.
Yeah.
It gives you a little peek behind the curtain. You get to understand what they truly value in their team members.
Okay.
Is it technical expertise? Is it communication skills?
Right.
Do they want someone who can anticipate the dentist's needs?
Yeah.
Their answer can tell you a lot about what they prioritize and how they work.
Okay. Next, the source recommended asking, what's the patient population like at this practice? Seems pretty straightforward.
It is, but it's important to know who you'll be working with.
Right.
Is it mostly families? Older adults?
Yeah.
A mix?
Okay.
Knowing that can help you decide if you'd feel comfortable and confident in that environment.
Now let's talk about your growth.
Okay.
The source suggested asking, what opportunities are there for professional development and advancement?
It's a great question. It shows ambition and a desire to, learn and grow.
Yeah.
Do they offer continuing education reimbursements, mentorship programs, a clear path for taking on more responsibility?
Right.
Their answer can tell you a lot about how committed they are to their employees' development.
Okay, let's check the workplace vibe.
No.
The source said to ask, how would you describe the culture here?
That's so important. It's all about fit.
Right.
Is it fast-paced or more laid back? Do they emphasize teamwork or individual initiative?
Okay.
You want to make sure their culture matches your personality and how you work so you can really thrive.
And to get a more personal perspective,
Yeah?
the source said to ask, what do you enjoy most about working here?
Ooh, I love that one.
Yeah.
You're getting a real glimpse into the day-to-day experience from someone who's actually there.
Right.
Their answer can reveal a lot about the team, the leadership, and overall how satisfied people are.
Speaking of satisfaction, the source also recommended asking, how is success in this role measured? That's a smart question.
It is. It shows you're thinking about expectations and how you'll be evaluated.
Right.
Is it patient satisfaction, teamwork, meeting certain goals, or a mix of things? Knowing this will help you understand what it takes to do well in the position.
Now let's think bigger picture.
Okay.
The source said to ask, what are some of the biggest challenges facing the practice right now?
That question shows you're thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Are they expanding, bringing in new technology, dealing with changes in the industry? Their answer can give you some good insights into their goals and where you might be able to contribute.
To get a feel for the daily routine the source suggested, can you walk me through a typical day for a dental assistant in this role? That helps you really picture yourself in the job.
It does. What kinds of tasks will you be doing?
Right.
What's the pace like? Are there opportunities to try different things or specialize?
Okay.
Their answer can paint a really clear picture of what your day might look like.
And lastly, the source had a pretty bold suggestion.
Oh, okay.
If you could change one thing about working here, what would it be?
That one takes some guts,
It does.
but it can be really telling. It
Yeah.
shows you're not afraid to ask tough questions.
Yeah.
Their answer might point out areas for improvement or challenges they're facing,
Right.
which gives you a more well-rounded perspective.
Wow, these questions are really helpful. I feel like I'm ready to be the interviewer.
Remember, an interview is a two-way street.
Yeah.
Asking good questions helps you learn more, but it also shows you're engaged, and that makes you stand out as a candidate.
And there you have it, your deep dive into dental assistant interviews.
We did it.
We covered the toughest questions and gave you the tools to impress any hiring manager.
Remember, confidence comes from preparation.
Right.
Research the practice, rehearse your answers, and most importantly, be yourself.
Yeah.
Let your passion shine through, and you'll do great.
We're rooting for you. Good luck with that interview. We know you're going to ace it.